What's up, guys? Nolan here with yet another day of some actually exciting, some actually interesting Escape from Tarkov news. We got a bit of a hot streak going here today, boys. Or, again, this week or recently, whatever you want to call it. Nikita popping off with the Nikki leaks over on Twitter recently. There's some more Ground Zero stuff. That looks like that's either a work in progress, what would that be? Cinematic for the trailer, or I mean for the game itself. That does look to be Ground Zero with what the setup is there. So we very well might be looking at the opening cinematic of Escape from Tarkov with something like this. That's 100% what that looks like to me, at least. Let me know what you guys think about it. And yeah, we're getting a lot of Nikki leaks, and we're getting a lot of stuff from Nikita over on Twitter recently. Talked a little bit about this on Twitter as well. Make sure you guys go follow me over on Twitter. It's going to be a lot easier. Little quick chats here and there for things that are potentially a little less important, other than the stuff that we're talking about today. And, you know, seeing some cool stuff over there. We'll see where that ends up popping up. That's going to be added to the game at some point. We'll just have to wait and see exactly where. We'll have to wait and see exactly where. But anyway, today, the most important thing is this bit right here. Well, actually, we'll talk about that here in a second. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. That is the AK-50. That is absolutely the AK-50. So there's some kind of cinematic. That's definitely some kind of storyboard or animation breakdown of some type going on. This is going to be either some kind of cinematic or some animation of something that's going to happen in the future. That's exactly what that looks like there. So something's going to be happening. Looks like they're finishing up on the AK-50 there. This also looks like some kind of spectral stuff going on here. And what I mean by that is like a lighting thing going on. This is maybe they're messing with the lighting in game. I would imagine they are. So maybe it's like some kind of setup or test to see the effective lighting on the gear, or just a new lighting system in general. It could be also something involved with particles or something like that. If you guys have any other ideas, go ahead and let me know. This is very obvious, though. That's body dragging. That guy looks dead as fuck. So I don't know if this is a confirmation of just body dragging or body dragging and the unconscious state. So those of you that have been following for a while will know that a unconscious state was going to be added to the game. They were planning on adding a system into the game where you could be knocked out by blood loss, you know, things like that, and you could be brought back to life. Exactly the same as what is very useful and actually used quite a bit and quite often in Gray Zone Warfare. For those of you guys that have checked out the new update, which I suggest that you do. Slight tangent there. Body dragging is in with that game. It's very useful. Getting knocked out when you're not being shot in a vital system, when you're losing too much blood, things like that. And then you can be revived and brought back to life and brought back up to full health so that you can get back into the fight. Obviously, this guy's not looking too hot. I don't know if this is he's dead or if this is you need to help him. So, speculation here. Whatever this is could also be a cinematic. So there doesn't seem to be anything that is indicative of skeletal structure or anything that they would want to change. Maybe I'm getting a little too deep with this one, but this doesn't read as much as something that somebody is working on as much as this looks like something that somebody is seeing if it looks okay, which it could also be them checking the third-person animations of body dragging. I do want to say I'm going to keep my expectations realistic with Escape from Tarkov from now on, and well, as I've been doing over the last 16 months or so. I'm going to go ahead and assume the quote-unquote worst-case scenario here, which is that this is a cinematic. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is not actually going to be added into the game in any capacity. Also, especially since we're seeing this over here when we go back. There's clearly cinematic things happening. There's clearly some videos being made for the release of the game. This is what I meant to show here. it's clear that there's visuals that are happening here that Nikita himself is focusing on. So if it's him that's actually producing these videos, I don't know if he's fully editing them and picking all of them himself or what, or if he's just being sent these videos to post for publicity. But seeing as this stuff is going on as well, which we'll talk about in a second, I think also this storyboard as well, actually now to, you know, take that into account as well. It seems like that is the primary thing. That's the primary kind of like focus, priority perhaps of the team with this content that Nikita is posting. So that is body being dragged. That is body dragging. Now, whether or not it's being actually added to the game as something that we can do, it doesn't confirm it. If you would like to be optimistic, that's it right there. If you would like to not be optimistic, this is a cinematic. This is a dude hiding behind a wall, and he's grabbing his buddy and bringing it behind the wall. It looks like a bear, perhaps, and bringing his buddy behind the wall so that he can treat him, or at least his buddy is out of the way of fire. That is how you would do it, though, so they're doing it quite realistically. There's a handle on the back of most rigs there, so you can actually, you know, pull somebody if you need to. So it does seem like this is... I'm going to say that this is a cinematic. I don't think this is them adding body dragging. But if you want to be a Sons of Soon level tinfoil hat, not only is this body dragging being out of the game, but this is the unconscious state. So absolutely through the roof, as optimistic as possible. Unconscious state, body dragging, and more. Realistically, though, probably a cinematic. It's looking like they're doing quite a lot with a cinematic. So, moving on, though. Went over to ChatGPT and went ahead and took a screenshot of this screen and plugged it in. ChatGPT seems to think that this is associated with networking of some type. And this is obviously something that they are working on. This is something that they are optimizing, thankfully. And I don't know if there's somebody that is actually good at coding. Maybe there's a network engineer that's watching. Maybe there's somebody that knows a network engineer that can possibly take a look at this and see what they find. In my experience, when doing stuff like this with ChatGPT, it is very good at finding you a answer, but is not always the answer. So it is possible that, again, this is just them cranking away at optimization of the netcode, of the networking of the game itself for a smoother, you know, smoother online experience, which would be fantastic. Or it's something that I missed, or that ChatGPT missed. But either way, it's pretty good news, and it's good to see. It's good to see. We're seeing some cool Nikki leaks recently over on Twitter, and we're seeing some good stuff. I have no idea what they're doing with this bullet. It seems like they're trying to get the primer out, but then I don't know why they're sawing it. Maybe they're just being goofy. I don't know what's happening there with that bullet in particular. But anyway, guys, that is some interesting things, as we seem to be on a hot streak here with Escape from Tarkov recently. For Escape from Tarkov, thanks to Nikita over on Twitter. So let me know what you guys think. Otherwise, to support what I do, click all the buttons on the screen or come by a stream. We're still hitting Broken Arrow quite hard after the release, since we're going to be doing a bit of Escape from Tarkov coming up here with the wipe this month. It is now officially July, so there is going to be a hardcore wipe this month. And if you haven't been brought up to date with that, check out my most recent video, which you can check out right here. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.